You are listening to the Babe You've Got This podcast, where you receive mindset and business coaching designed for the everyday gal who has big goals and dreams and is craving that guidance, insight, and reaffirmation for creating more success in their life. This is episode number 21, and I'm with my bestie, Jannah Davis, and we are in freestyle mode and just sharing our experience with the COVID-19 and working from home. So here are tips to not go insane during this time and to stay positive and productive whilst in isolation. This podcast is brought to you by Abundance Club, an exclusive online membership to a 16-week revolutionary coaching program that is guaranteed to up-level your health, transform your wealth, and evolve your mindset. Just a reminder to hit subscribe so you are always in the loop when a new episode drops. I am truly grateful that I can give you this time and content as you listen in today. And remember to leave a heart-filled review and 5 sparkly stars if you're listening through iTunes, or leave your love-filled comments in the comment section below. By this process, you are contributing to the bigger vision and impact of inspiring and helping women just like you to grow their success and their mindset. Don't forget to leave your Instagram handle so I can give you a shout out on our social media and recognize you for your greatness too. All right, let's begin. Hey guys, I'm here with my bestie, J-Dog, aka Jannah.
Or JD.
JD, good old JD. So we're freestyling a bit today because we feel like we're all stuck in like quarantine or lockdown or isolation. I think it's, what is people saying? ISO.
Yeah.
Stuck in ISO.
Hashtag ISO, COVID life.
COVID life. So we thought we'd bring a bit of fun to you guys, and it's still under the whole Babe You've Got This thing, because we're going to give you some really cool tips and hopefully empower you and inspire you. Well, we're inspiring ourselves with the craziness we have to give. We want to chat a bit about, we both work from home, completely different type of work. Well, we're both in sales in a way, but different industries, different stuff we need to do each day. But we want to give you our best tips on working from home, because so many people have transitioned into that space, but also our best tips to keep sane and to have fun.
Yeah. I find as well what was really hard for me was obviously the first, because I'm very self-motivated anyway. So obviously being told from going to an office to going to home and obviously everything happening. And I was like, yep, cool, got this. First week, sick. Second week, cool. Third week, fuck. I just fell into a rut, and I think being an extrovert and relying on that external energy. So if you don't know what an extrovert and introvert is, so extroverts love being around people and they get their energy from other people, whereas introverts thrive at home and actually give their energy away when they're around other people, so it exhausts them. So I'm one to go into work and thrive because there's other people there that I can feed off.
So we're extrovert. We just suck the introverts' energy.
Yeah.
And then the introverts have to go home to recharge.
I know. That's all my partners end up being introverts, so it's quite interesting.
We suck the life out of our lives.
That's why they're go away.
Yeah.
So I had to do some real deep digging. Yeah, deep digging last week, because I was like, this is fucked. I've probably got another 3 weeks of this, and how do I get my motivation up without being around people? So yeah, some of my little tips were obviously still maintain as much as you can the routine that you had before. So obviously I was getting up, taking my dog for a walk, and then doing some exercise. So now I'm just doing exactly that. Or if I'll do some either meditation or breath work, whatever I feel like needs to be done. But at least 4 days a week I'll still be training. And then I still get up, have a shower, do my makeup, get dressed, come down, make a good breakfast, and then I'll put on my gym playlist, so really upbeat music, because I was listening to super chill music and I found that was
pretty
not good. And then I'll do work for a few hours, and then I will actually get up and get really creative with my lunch and make a good lunch. So a good healthy lunch, whereas before I was just sort of making something really quick and then quickly getting back down and doing my work. And I think when we're at home, we really need to take that step away to get creative, get your head out of work, and then get back into it with a fresh mind. I'll probably like maybe dance around with my dog. I've got stairs, so I found that was really good to just like run up and down the stairs to get your heart rate up again.
Or just do some burpees.
Yeah, burpees, star jumps,
yeah,
skipping rope, just something that sort of like gets you out of that funk. Yeah. I think when you've sort of been on your computer for a long period of time and you're just like, I'm not actually being that productive, I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like my life.
Yeah, it's hard.
Oh, and you know, you guys might be people who, you might already work from home. So I've always worked from home, right? Jannah's someone who's gone from an office to a home space. So you might have transitioned. This is the first time you've ever worked from home. And like see, to me, because I'm so used to being disciplined, because I've grown the discipline of when I'm working and when I'm not working, as much as it kind of does all merge into one. So I don't understand, or I can't remember what it used to feel like to go to work, come home, switch off. So I know so many people relate to the whole, well, I'm at home, so I should be in my switch off mode. So I guess it's, you know, it's different for every single person, because you guys might have to do an 8-hour day. You might, as long as you get a certain amount of jobs done, you can smash them out in a few hours, or you take all day to do them. Like, I'm not sure what your routine or work schedule's like, but I think like something that I've always shared with like my team who also work from home, and I share this like on my Instagram and stuff, like tips for working at home, is it's just being disciplined, so knowing what you need to do and break it down. And because I always think of like, I've got all this stuff to do, but I also want to make sure I get some yoga in, or like, what am I going to eat for lunch? Like, my brain has a million tabs open. So best way to put it, work on one tab at a time. Work on that tab, close the tab. Next one, close it. And I find having a to-do list is really good, because you can cross it off.
Literally just made mine.
Yeah, and on the to-do list, I will put like, stop and go for a 5-minute like meditation, or get outside and put the sun on your face. Like, you kind of have to, it might seem silly, but you're not going to do it otherwise.
And I think as well, like for someone like myself, I'm like, I could easily just get up, have breakfast and go straight onto my laptop and just be like, I need to work. Like, I get a little bit of like, oh, I need to get back into work. I need to get into work. Or like, and not taking that time for myself to fill my cup up. But then I just end up like just looking at a computer screen and probably not being as productive. So it's like, I need to get to my laptop at like 9 or 10 o'clock whenever I finish my morning routine, be there for a few hours, be present, get it done, and then go. Like, I'll probably have lunch about 12:31, get creative, do that for about an hour, go sit out in the sun, have my lunch. Like, if I need to have a little dance party, I'll have a dance party. Also, because I am like living on my own, I can work later into the night, because it's not like, it's like, what else am I doing? Like, so like, I don't watch TV, so like, that's another thing, like just sort of being like, okay, it's 5 or 6 o'clock, like, go work on like the projects that you want to work on now. Like, don't keep working, because otherwise it's like that energy is just not going to be there.
I get caught in that so much. So going on from that, so if you're someone who you own your own business and it's not, you're an employee, but you've just transitioned to home. And I know a lot of people, women who listen to this podcast anyway, are, you know, entrepreneurs. And I've found, well, I've realized being in isolation and staying at home is how much I actually would go out and book in meetings, and how much of my day it would take up. So now I, like, if you're a mum, please don't hate me when I say this, but I realize how much time in my day I actually have. I know so many mums, you know, you've got kids, they take up like the majority of your day anyway. But I just actually, I'm so grateful for how much time I have. But the downside, so there's always a positive and a negative. And the negative side is I get to a point where I'm like, it's 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I have nothing else to do. And I've done my little breaks, but I love working. I thrive off working. I love getting shit done. And I could go all the way up until bedtime and work. And it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing if you guys are like so motivated and inspired to get shit done. But what can happen is if you go too hard, like on that one day, the next day it's going to be really hard to wake up, or you haven't recovered from all that energy and that screen time. And I just find that not sustainable. So I think my biggest challenges is being okay with stopping and finding a hobby and doing the things that light me up, that aren't including cafes or, going to have a wine with a friend, because you're not really meant to do that right now. And I'm finding all my passions and my fun stuff of all the things that are banned with this silly lockdown.
Yeah, I think it's good to see, like, because obviously cooking was something that I have always enjoyed, but I was always like, I don't have enough time when I was like working and everything. But it's definitely something that I want to maintain, obviously going back into it and like having dinner parties and cooking for other people. So that's definitely something that I've wanted to, and also like reading. I can draw, so I haven't got into that yet. I've still like been finishing off a few little projects that I've just started and I just never finished because of work.
Who else feels that? I totally feel that. I start this and I start that. Even my husband's like, you just start so many things and you never finish it. But in saying that, I have been cooking more. I'm not much of a cook. I used to do it as a living before I started my own business. When I was at uni, I worked in a kitchen. So, like, FYI guys, I actually can cook. I just haven't been in the kitchen for years. But I've found that I have been cooking more. And I've even been making like healthy raw desserts and stuff. So then when I snack, because how many times do we go to the fridge when we're working at home?
Yeah.
Oh my God, side note, I saw this meme the other day and I reposted it, and it was like,
quarantine me from the fridge.
It was quite like the fridge in these times, like you know what? I want to find it. I want to see. Can you bring up my Instagram and see if it's on my story? Because it was so funny. I don't want to say it wrong and you not get your full laugh potential out of it, but I'm hoping it's on there. If not, I'll find it later. But anyway, I've been baking. It's so funny. I'm not a baker, and I made these like delicious, healthy, fudgy vegan brownies. I know, delicious. Yeah, okay, so it was something like your fridge is probably, the next time you go and open the fridge, your fridge is probably thinking, what the fuck do you want now? And I'm like, that is so me. Like, how often do we find we get bored and we go to the fridge?
See, I'm actually pretty good on that front because
damn you.
I don't know why, like, since I've been home, like I'm a good eater. Like, I can pack away some food.
Yeah, we're actually discussing this morning. Jannah's you can eat big meals and it'll satisfy you to your next one.
Yeah.
I'm a grazer, and I've tried to do the eat a big meal to fill you up, and an hour later I'm still like ready to eat. So I'm like, I just got to do small grazing meals. Okay, I think my point of that pointless seeming story was, if you need a break from working, or you're one of those people that the fridge is now getting pissed off at you for always opening the door. Like, your fridge is probably losing temperature because you open the door that much. That's probably what's happening to my fridge. It's spend some time and like make some healthy snacks. Get a bit creative, or
well, for me, I just have a cup of tea. Like, every time I feel like I'm gonna start getting like peckish, I'll just have a cup of tea, or a piece of fruit. Well, that's what I find is like the best. It's usually the fruit in the afternoon, and then like about that 3ish, I'll have a piece of fruit. But yeah, usually breakfast, have a cup of tea about 11, have some lunch, then and at the moment I'm just loving rice paper rolls for lunch. And then I'll have a piece of fruit in the afternoon, and then I'll have some dinner, whatever.
See, I think that's a really shitty tip. Like, have some fruit in the afternoon. Like, you get to the afternoon, you're like, I want the cheese and crackers. Where's the wine at?
Yeah, but I don't have any cheese and crackers, and I don't have any wine. Like, I don't have those things in my house because I know I'll eat them.
And we wonder why we're friends. But anyway, I'm just thinking, if this has been listening, I'll be like, damn you and your self-discipline to have fruit in the afternoon. But it is true. If it's not in your house, right?
Yeah.
Don't eat it.
Like, I've got hot cross buns now, so maybe that'll be my afternoon snack. But
see, she's not crazy, people. She is human. She's not this freakazoid that just lives off fruit.
But honestly, I want to give them away so I don't eat them. Like,
I know, she's giving them to me.
That's what my plan is.
Oh, so anyway, can you see, like, we just want to share with you guys like how we're surviving working from home in isolation. And another hot tip is, I have this realization probably once a week, and I forget it because I rehab it. And I was just talking to Jannah about it. I'm like, gets to Friday, and you know when you play music in the background, you're like, yes, it's Friday, got those Friday feels. And
Today
I'm like,
feels like Friday.
actually, yeah, what is it? Wednesday today. Yeah. Well, on Fridays, I'm like, why don't I play music every day? I don't need to wait till Friday to feel this good. So, guys, if you're not putting music on in the background, seriously, find a playlist on Spotify or get your YouTube up. If you're on the computer, you can play it off. You can have that tab open. That tab can stay open. And listen, because it pumps you up. It makes you feel like you're not at home. And then we have dance parties. Like, guys, there's nothing wrong with having a dance party, even by yourself. Like, it's really good it burns calories, first of all that sitting that we're doing, burns some calories, releases endorphins. They're probably the two major ones. Clears the mind. Fortunately, people can't see your dance moves, so there's no judgment. There's no risk of judgment. And there's no excuse to feel insecure because no one's looking at you.
My dog looks at me sometimes.
Maybe put your pet in the other room.
He's like, what are you doing?
But yeah, you got to stay sane, guys, because you got to shake off all the
negative vibes.
Computers release negative vibes, guys. They're soul-sucking. But they're also extroverts too. They're sucking.
One thing that I want to touch on as well, because obviously there's a lot of girls on here that are obviously striving to be entrepreneurs as well. But just because we're going through this, like I know, like obviously I'm in sales, but there was a few people in sales that were like, actually probably majority of people in sales, when I was talking to people in the first 2 weeks when I was on my high and I was like, nah, not listening to this, they were like, well, it's coronavirus, I don't expect anyone to do anything. And they were like really complacent. And I was like, you know what, like, yeah, I get that, but there's always going to be people out there. And as well, my goals are not on hold because of coronavirus. Like, I still want to be somewhere at a certain time, and I'm not just going to be like, oh, okay, well, coronavirus has happened, so I'm just going to have to put that 6 months behind. Like
your life on hold for 6
months.
I'm
like, no, I'm still working, I'm still doing stuff. So don't think that just because, oh, well, coronavirus, blah, 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 like, I need to put my whole life on hold. No, you can still work towards your health and wellness goals. Like, you can still be training. There's no excuse. There's heaps
you
of
could
stuff.
Be upskilling. Like, there's nothing stopping you learning new skills. And well, here's some truth bombs for you, because we kept it quite lighthearted. The reality is, if you're blaming a virus from stopping you forwarding in your life, you are literally being a victim of your circumstance. You're being a victim to the virus. You're palming it off, and the only person really that you can blame for not moving forward through this time is yourself, because shit happens all the time anyway. This is just something that,
and it's like, it is a good, like, it is one of those really good external factors that you'll see people come out of this and they'll either be put on like 10 kilos or they're going to come out with abs and they've learned a different language and they're like on a whole different high. So it's like, who do you want to be? Like, do you want to be like, oh, well, I lost my job, I couldn't do anything. It's like, well, like, there's a lot of incentives for Australia. Like, we're really lucky. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, like what's going on and how their government is. But just think about those things. That's like those passion projects. If you want to be an entrepreneur, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a coach? Like, start working towards those things that make you happy. And then just like hone in on them. Do what you need to do. Keep active. I think that was the biggest thing, because obviously in the first, I think, week or two, I wasn't as active, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to put on like 10 kilos. Just being.
I feel like it's been easier to stay healthy because we're not going out. Like hubby and I we're cooking meals at home. Don't get me wrong, it's like easier to drink the wine. That's my kryptonite. But other than that, we're eating like super healthy.
You've got time to cook. It's like, well, why not? Like, be that, like, I don't know, each week I've got healthier and healthier.
Yeah, except for when I visit.
Yeah, but we had rice paper rolls. Like, that's really not.
It was actually pretty yum.
Yeah, I was like, there wasn't anything unhealthy.
Just the hot cross buns and 3 Scotch finger biscuits I ate before dinner.
And the glass of wine.
And the two glasses. But anyway, like, just keeping it real for you. But yeah, like, this is the time now to take advantage of what do you want to create. Now, you could be listening to this and not be super empowered to start your own business. That's fine. The point of this is who do you want to become from this? Like, how do you want to take advantage of this being told? Yes, we're being told to stay inside. Yes, there is this control going on, but it's how do you want to take advantage of it? How do you want it to help you? And I'm like, how I said, I feel like I have too much time, but it's good because I'm actually getting shit done in my business now. All those little tasks that, that aren't like the high paying or the important stuff, and they always go to the wayside. But it's not important enough to pay someone to do. I feel like I'm getting them done now. Like, things are getting organized, and it makes me feel good. And at the end of the day, it's about how you feel and where your mindset is. Don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share of mental breakdowns through Corona and wondering where my life is going, and I've lost control of things. And maybe that will be a whole nother episode. Actually, I'll talk about my mental breakdown I had last week in my next episode that I do. Hold me accountable to it, and how I came through it. It's not going to be a pity party episode. It will be how I got through my mental breakdown. But don't get me wrong, like Jannah, we've had our moments, and everyone I talk to who's working from home or have goals, like, we're going to be challenged more because we have the goals. If you're what is it, complacent and happy just to ride it out and do nothing, you're not really going to be worried or have mental breakdowns, because you're just
literally waiting. You're waiting on that external factor. You're waiting on something to happen, which I just cannot do.
I can't. Like, I'm waiting for it to be over on the sake of, like, the shit I realize that I can't do physically or go out, or like, I love hosting events and to host physical events like wellness events, getting the beautiful team together, or running some Pilates. Like, I love running Pilates sessions. Like, that's challenging because that human connection, but then that's why I want it to be over, so I can get back to that. But also it's forcing us to, like, what can we work on now that we weren't working on before?
Yeah, I reckon, which is good. And as well, like, it makes me realize, like, how much I said yes to, which I don't like.
Like, people pleasing.
Yeah, people pleasing, but also distracting myself. And now I realize how much I've actually let myself down because I haven't put my passion projects first. I've been like, yep, okay, I'll go catch up with that person. But it's like, no, I probably could have been so much further ahead, because obviously I'm working still as well and I love what I do. But it's like, there are little passion projects that I could have released like a year or two ago, but because I was like, like, things just got ahead and I was like, oh, I'll just do that later, or like, I'll catch up with this person. It's like 2 years down the track and I still haven't finished some of them. And it's like, you literally I've put myself second. And it's like, there's going to be so many people probably realizing and evaluating, like, I don't want to go back to work. Like, what else can I do to work from home? Or like, I don't want to have to go back into that office. Like, I'm happy to stay at home.
Actually, do you know what? What you just said there, and I can't believe I haven't put it into these words yet. I just kind of had a little realization, is we live before this isolation or lockdown and this form of, it is a control on us by the government and these laws that have come in. But humans, the majority of us live and chase the instant gratification. So the weekend comes up, on the Monday we're like, yeah, this weekend we're staying in, we get these jobs done we want to do, not going out, not going to go drink. The weekend comes and we're like, oh, but I want to create memories and I want to have some fun right now and I just want to let my hair down. But it's a cycle. Like, I know I can vouch for that. And all we're doing is chasing the instant gratification, and then it passes, so we chase it again. But this staying at home and giving you the time to actually work on your goals is talking about the future and focusing on the future, which is your long-term satisfaction. And so many people are sucked into instant gratification. I still am. I'm nowhere near as bad as I used to be, because I am very driven now for the long-term satisfaction. And you can't have both. You can't have them both to the same degree. You've got to make sacrifices. And it's money, for example. Money is a good measurement. Is if we spend a lot now and you live more paycheck to paycheck and you're not really saving for your future, in a year's time, you're going to be in the same position. No savings, living paycheck to paycheck. But if you sacrifice going out and spending money on the instant gratification stuff so much, and you save it instead, in a year's time, you're going to be so much more well off.
Yeah.
So that's my little example. So maybe this is us, the universe, helping us focus on the long-term satisfaction.
Yeah. No, I think it's like, obviously there is a lot of sadness in the world at the moment. And I think this is really going to determine, like, obviously me and Kim definitely have a more of a positive outlook then, and that's just something that we're born with. I think a lot of people.
Oh, I was not born with mine. I was a massive victim.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Actually, like I was born with more of a. I'm not born with like more of a positive, but I will look at both sides, and I will have a look at like, okay, what can I do, and how does this affect me? So I'm definitely find it easier to always look at the positive. Like, why would I look at the negative if I have? Like, I will evaluate it, and then I'll be like, okay, this is what's going on. This is my life, and always look at the positive. But and I think this will be that point where people need to like really turn off the news. Like, if you haven't already, turn off the news, have it on your laptop, check it every morning, do what you need to do, and then carry on. There's just no need to bring yourself down with like overthinking it, or just take it day by day. Like, that's what I do.
So letting it control you.
Yeah. So just like really focus on your mindset and having positive, doing the dance party, doing those little things to really make sure your mental well-being is up to scratch, because otherwise, God, we're going to have more. As I just literally said, I was like, we're going to have more problems with mental health at the end of this than we're going to have corona cases, because people are not used to being at home alone without, well, this is the worst thing. They can have drugs and alcohol at home, which it just numbs everyone even more. But a lot of people are taking this time to face their demons and everything, but a lot of people are going to be numbing themselves. So it's either people are going to realize that they got shit to sort out.
Yeah. And guys, I know most of you listening, the type of people who listen to this podcast anyway, you guys are switched on, you're open-minded or whatnot, but I want to make sure, and we probably should have pre-framed at the start, we're not being ignorant to this. We know there's shit going on, and it's no point going into it, because there's so many different opinions and sides, and the positive and the negative. We're not ignorant to what's going on, but what we want, like our goal with this episode, and for you guys to just start thinking like for yourself and your life, and what you can do for yourself to
make like your day that little bit better, that little bit brighter. Yeah. Like, you're going to have those days like that you're down, but just have the tools to be able to get out of it, because otherwise it's so much harder when you're at home. If you're at home alone, it's going to be so much harder to get out of it. Whereas like before, you could go catch up with a friend, or like go do something to get yourself out of it. Like,
honestly, dance parties. Put your favourite tune on, dance like a dickhead, and
dance parties, training, breath work, meditation, eating well, lots of water, sunshine. What else is there? Reading, drawing, making a podcast.
Make a podcast. Just start talking to yourself. Start blogging. Write stuff down.
Yeah, like, God, there's so many. Whatever takes your fancy, like whatever's going to light you up.
Yeah, and not binge watching Netflix.
Yeah,
someone documentaries.
As soon as I heard this is a big thing, but like always plays in the back of my head. So this is a reason why sometimes like I struggle to watch movies or something. Someone said this, I think I read it in a book somewhere, something, blah, blah, blah. Someone said, if you're watching a lot of TV or Netflix or anything, you're literally watching someone else's dream unfold.
I told you that. I'm pretty sure mine is like, when you're watching someone on TV, you're watching someone else living out their dreams.
So that's why I'm like, I can't sit there sometimes and binge watch Netflix, because I'm like, why the fuck would I want to watch them
living out their dreams?
When I'm like, I have a lot of stuff that I need to do. Don't get me wrong, there are those days that you're like, nah, I'm mentally done and I need to tap out.
Yeah.
And you need to watch those Netflix things.
You control the Netflix and chill, not let the Netflix and chill control you.
Don't just do it just because it's like, oh, well, I have nothing to do now. You always have
something. So on that, like, I started watching The Handmaid's Tale finally, because I read half the book in high school and I like fell in love with how fucked up it is. But I didn't remember the ending. So I didn't binge. You could say I binged, because I got through, and they're like hour-long slow episodes, 3 seasons in like a week and a half, or maybe less. But what I did was, I would make sure I did my work, and then I'd have a time, like I would set like boundaries. So I have to get this shit done in between. It was like from 3 till 5 p.m. in the afternoon when my brain was fried, like, because I've been on the computer. that would be my time to catch up. But once I've done 2 episodes, I would stop. I wouldn't do more. And then I'd get on with whatever I need to do, because otherwise, like, I had to be in control. Except for on weekends when I would have a lazy morning and I just like froth on watching my TV show. But yeah,
I was gonna say, if it's Saturday night and you're not really doing anything else and you've done your work, then it's like, yeah, go do that. But I think a lot of people are going to be taking the piss over this time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think we might leave it there. That's a good half an hour of our hot tips and talking rants and venting and just make the most of it, guys. And just to wrap it up, make sure, like, if you love this episode or any of the episodes, like, take a screenshot, share it on your social media, tag the Babe You've Got This Instagram. Jannah's details, her Instagram handle will be in the notes section as well, so you can go check out her page. She's always putting up really cool stuff, and we'll pop up your business. We'll plug your business Instagram too, so you can check that out and give her a follow. And yeah, what else do I say at the end? Oh my gosh,
just have a beautiful
day.
ISO.
Have a beautiful ISO life. Yeah,
make the most of it.
Yeah, and don't forget to leave a review. We love reading the reviews. I always read out a review when I do my single episodes, just to give you a shout out. And yeah, all right. Well, because we freestyle today, normally I follow quite a structure, so I've forgotten what I said at the end. So hopefully you're laughing along with us. Yeah, peace out, homies. Did I say it too?
I did.
Oh, well, they didn't hear you.
Peace out, homies.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.